I'm with Tom Phillips at a Kent Connect event talking about innovation, social media, structures and so on. And we got talking about this diagram I use a fair amount, which is the difference between kind of hierarchical structures, clustered structures, and at the bottom left, the kind of mesh structure. And what quite often happens when I'm talking to organisations, they say, yes, we are really quite hierarchical, and we do have kind of clusters of relationships, but we really want to be much more peer-to-peer and join up and mesh up and so on and so forth. But in practice, that's quite difficult, and one can say that, well, you need those individuals to be the red blobs and joining up. But Tom, you were saying it's not necessarily individuals.
I think that's right. Hierarchical organisations do things in a hierarchical way. That might seem a bit obvious, but I think what you will find is that on your diagram, there is a model that would have the nodes not as people as such, but maybe as activities, that you might have a bit of participatory budgeting going on here, a traditional public meeting going on somewhere else. We've lost the diagram for a moment. And it isn't going always to be the local authority having a big all singing, all dancing public meeting that spawns other activities. It could be a variety of different activities going on. And sooner or later, the overlap between those activities will become obvious. And my view is they will start quite naturally to draw connections between themselves, much in the same way that your diagram envisages that the connections will grow virally between individuals.
That's absolutely fascinating, and I and other people in recent years have been using social media to report from events with Twitter and video and so on and so forth, and so make those events more sociable, open them up and make the potential for collaborations. So that's very much in that mode.
Absolutely. I think there's almost no limit to where you could take that sort of model. I think often you'll be limited by your subject matter.
Have you seen some of this operate in the work that you've been doing?
In work that I was doing a while back, yes, very much in the area of something like community grant giving, where there are traditional ways of having a panel that decides on grants. There are other ways of doing it in terms of full-blown participatory budgeting events and so on. Sooner or later, you start to develop the hybrids because one size doesn't fit all.
So it's really light some fires around the place, get people gathering around the campfires, and then eventually they'll go out and chat to other people anyway.
I think it's absolutely that, yes.